Without further ado, we are live here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Hey everybody, Judson checking in from Sandstone, Minnesota here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. My apologies, we're about an hour behind schedule in between training interns, animal care interns, and myself. I have a media intern, Miss Hannah. Kind of got a little behind schedule today, so I apologize everyone. Normally, we are live here every day at the Wildcat Sanctuary at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. But today, we're kicking off just a little hour behind schedule. But I think it will be doubly awesome because not only are we going to be hanging out with some TWS rescues, but we're going to be hanging out with some rescues who particularly like the evening of a day here at the sanctuary in low light periods, and that would be the three wild. So I see Miss Rainier enjoying some tuna treats that I was just in there along with caretakers who were shoveling. I placed some tuna for her. Starting to see everybody file in. Hey Lois, thanks for joining us. Nadia saying hello and welcoming the new interns. Well, thank you for that, Nadia. That's Miss Rainier licking up a little piece of tuna there. It looks like her brother Tacoma is coming right behind her to join her and see what the fuss is all about. Well, don't worry, Mr. Tacoma. We got tuna all over the place. Oh, little cougar kisses. That's sweet. I don't think we've ever seen a cougar kiss like that between you and Tacoma, Miss Rainier. Hey, good afternoon, Kendra Ditto. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well. No need to be concerned. Sorry about that. We missed our 2 o'clock tea time for our live post, but happy to be here just an hour later. Sometimes that's just life here at the Wildcat Sanctuaries. You got to shake and move and roll with the punches, and nonetheless, we're happy to be bringing you guys a live post here with some of our rescued wildcats. And right now, we're featuring the three wild: Tacoma, Rainier, and Quincy. Hey, Mr. Tacoma, you see the tuna on that bog, goofball? He says, well, I'm heading into my large yard where I also put some tuna in for you. But Tacoma, Quincy, and Rainier, we'll go catch up with Tacoma in a moment, are three wild-born cougars, believe it or not, who came to the sanctuary 2 winters ago now. These two, unfortunately, were orphaned in a Washington state town and had made their way into a neighborhood in this Washington state town and were found under a deck. And it was at a point in these cougars' lives where they weren't old enough, where they could be rehabbed and released back into the wild. And also there's laws prohibiting the rehab and release of apex predators in certain states. So for cats like Tacoma and Rainier, when they find themselves in unfortunate situations where they've been orphaned, we are here at the Wildcat Sanctuary are absolutely thrilled and proud to be a last chance rescue for orphan wildcats like these three. And so we obviously have the three wild here. Here's Tacoma coming back and joining the party here. You got some fresh bedding in there. Caretaker Mike was just in there changing it up for you guys because he knows that's a favorite hangout spot for the cougars. But these three are backed right up to the 5 wild along a shared wall. That's another group of a surrogate family of wild-born cougars. These three are actually all kin or related. And I just have 2 of the 3 with me. Miss Rainier, who is the more kind of dominant and confident of the group, was the one who marched out first and licked up some tuna in one of the locations I had placed it for her. And her brother Tacoma came out right behind her, and he licked up a couple tunas. But these guys just had their meal as well in their indoor bedroom, so I can imagine that they might be doing some grooming here as well. Trying to look through some comments with my cold fingers. It admittedly is rather cold here at the Wildcat Sanctuary today. We've certainly been enacting our extreme cold weather protocol where we're limiting outdoor access for certain cats, but still making sure that we are obviously still clearing snow out, because along with the cold temperatures that we're having right now, we had about 4 or so inches of snow yesterday and a lot of wind. So we had lots of snow moving around, and now double that with some cold temperatures. And to think that some of the interns that we've been welcoming, I think one of them is originally from Minnesota, out of the 5 interns that came, and that's including my animal care intern. To think that the 4 out of the 5 may not be accustomed to cold temps like you have here in Minnesota. Definitely a big transition. And see, Quincy's joined the party. He just exited his indoor bedroom there, which is great to see. This group of wild-born cougars here has not just 1 indoor bedroom, but 2. So they can certainly spread out and enjoy themselves, and certainly, still have a lot of competition in the cougar cuddle puddle department when it comes to the 5 wild. Man alive, do the 5 wild ever have quite the cougar cuddle puddles. I see Denoma, who's looking along the shared wall and greeting his cougar cohorts. Oh, that's Langley, as a matter of fact, the one female of the 5 wild. You can even see that cowlick in the back of her coat there, which is one way that we identify Miss Langley among her cougar pals. Well, look at Miss Rainier. She says, I found more tuna. I found more tuna. I gotta catch up on some comments here, folks. Thanks again for joining us on this frigid day here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Let me just scroll up on some comments and connect with the folks out there. You can already see Melody and Hannah are hot in the comments, doing a little social media cheerleading. Thank you, everybody, for welcoming them. Ooh, that's a cold finger, Miss Rainier. And Hannah, who's joining the media side of the Wildcat Sanctuary. And then we welcomed 4 other animal care interns. And I know that you guys, and especially when we were talking about some of the things that we would like to see in 2022, you guys were hoping to hear a little bit more about the people who make all the things happen here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, be it the staff, interns, myself included, Tammy. So you certainly can look forward to us letting you meet them and understand all the hard work that they do and the sacrifices that they make to come here for 6 months out of the year to do an internship here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. So you can certainly look forward to that. And I love seeing the warm TWS welcomes in the comments, everyone. That's so special, and always just reinforces to me how awesome of a community we have here. And Yada saying, a nice frozen treat. I certainly can admit that the tuna was even freezing a little bit in the can on the way down. And I cracked it open and had noticed that it had even started to freeze a little bit in the can. So yep, it certainly is cold. I see Maria was commenting, wow, she has a large tail, and cougars certainly do. Their tail is typically going to be about the length of their entire body. And that tail, as you imagine, is going to help a cat like Rainier, who loves to climb and jump and be agile. That tail is going to help her keep balance and maintain that agility when she's making those spectacular jumps. And it may be hard to see, but all cougars do have a black tip of their tail. Actually, we can see it pretty well. And Rainier is sporting hers. It's quite pronounced, actually, more than I thought it would be, Miss Rainier. And they're always going to have that black spot on the end of their tail, but typically, as they mature, that black spot is not going to be as prominent. But you guys know that when cougars Rainier, Quincy, and Rainier, I said Rainier twice, Tacoma, Rainier, and Quincy arrived 2 years ago, they were just kittens. They were only weeks old, and so these cougars are obviously still maturing, and not only has it been special to watch them during the time that they've spent here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, but to think that this is their forever home, and we here, and obviously you guys, our supporters, are going to be right there behind Tacoma, Rainier, and Quincy for the rest of their lives here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. And it's pretty cool to think that, you were able to welcome them here and see them through their Wild at Heart life and make sure that they're getting everything that they deserve during their time here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Now, that's pretty special, Miss Rainier. Now, that's pretty special. I got Tacoma giving me the stink eye over here, I tell ya. I got Tacoma giving me the stink eye. Yeah, I put Tuna all around. So, everyone, if you're just joining us, we're hanging out with the 3 Wild, a group of wild-born cougars who unfortunately were orphaned at a young age and who had no other chance to live in the wild, and fortunately were able to come to the Wildcat Sanctuary. And we've been hanging out with these 3, talking about their story. You guys have been sounding off in the comments, welcoming our new interns. I see Megan welcoming our new interns. Oh, this is fun. Jan Levin saying, watching from Tacoma, Washington, wearing my Washington Cougars sweatshirt. That's quite a themed participant or spectator, Jan. That's fun to see. Yeah, there's even Tuna up there, Miss Rainier. And so right now, I'll just contextualize things a little bit. So right now, you can see I think that's Quincy now. I think Tacoma went back inside. Or actually, that's Tacoma. Now Quincy has gone inside. Mr. Tacoma is right along the far edge of his habitat. And right now, we are in kind of the first yard, or what we call the shift yard. And Miss Rainier is kind of leading her way to where you'll see that guillotine door. And they have access to an even larger yard. A large that's about 3 times the size of this one. So we may be catching them in their shift yard as they've just kind of wrapped up their meal coming out of their indoor bedroom. But especially as you see that sun falling in the background, these guys always make it a little bit harder for the paparazzi because it's not the easiest taking photos in almost the dark. But Tacoma, Quincy, and Rainier really spread their wings in those low light periods, and we've talked about it before. And the term for that would actually be crepusculous, which means they're going to be active in the low light periods of the morning and evening. And Tacoma's coming down. I was saying Quincy might have been inside, but Quincy was over here enjoying the tuna treats. Yeah, goofball. I was just talking about this yard, and I didn't even realize you were over here the whole time. He says, uh-oh, the jig is up. Don't let Rainier know there's all these tuna treats over here. She can keep enjoying this one. Hey there, pretty gal. Let me look at some comments here. Oh, love seeing all the love for the new interns in the comments. Maybe a snowball fight might be a good way, kind of some bonding here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, Daniel. Although it's pretty darn cold to make a snowball. See, someone's watching from Rhode Island and is having a snowstorm. Ruh-roh. Oh, I think I'm going to go try to catch up to Mr. Quincy. Obviously, you guys know the 3 Wild, they're a little bit shy, and so I don't want to crowd him, especially now that he sees that I've turned this direction. Maybe we'll just have to kind of watch him from afar, because I want Quincy to keep on exploring and licking his chops as he finds his tuna treats. And it's all about finding the happy medium, is that if our cats want to be a little bit more on the shy side and not, want to be full-fledged right up in the camera for a live post, and especially cats, wild-born cats like these 3 Wild here, they are totally entitled to that. And I'm not going to walk over to Quincy and cause him any consternation while he's digging around for his tuna treats. That's a frozen tuna treat at this point, Miss Rainier. And Tacoma is doing a little snooping of his own back here. Oh, yep, that's one right there, big guy. I'm staying right here. That's all you. Yeah, that's not bad, And I have Mr. Quincy being so bold and courageous. He's just going to be walking right through his shift here, so I'm going to let him do that. Nice job, pretty boy. And not even a hiss for the paparazzi. He says, yeah, you put Tuna out here, little shoveling. Life is good, Look at that. 1, 2, 3. So here's Mr. Quincy. Right here is Miss Rainier, pardon me, the one female of the group, and there is Tacoma in the back. And so these guys certainly have their own kind of physical characteristics that caretakers and staff members use to help identify them. But admittedly, I definitely think that the 3 wild, out of all of our wild-born cougar groups, the 4 wild and 5 wild and 3 wild, I definitely think that they can be the hardest to ID sometimes. I think between Rainier is the outlier. If you can identify Rainier, it's typically easy to identify her 2 brothers from one another. And so now the boys are still kind of snooping around for Tuna. The paparazzi has icicles for fingertips. I'm just going to put one hand in my pocket. It's cold out here for a human being. And it's been absolutely lovely seeing these 3 cougars. I know that we maybe haven't featured them on a live post in a little bit of time, but I'm glad we're able to check in with these 3. I got to speak to Alyssa, who is the lead caretaker in Zone 3, Zone 2, excuse me, where Cougar Cove is located. And she had nothing but positive things to report. All 3 are doing great. They're eating their meals. They're being responsible about using their indoor space. They're being responsible about using their indoor space, and then are obviously making plenty of frequent trips out to their large free-roaming habitat and taking advantage of all the amenities out there as well. So it was great to hear that from Melissa. And another thing that she pointed out is that Tacoma in particular, yeah, that's a good Tuna, Tacoma in particular, who's on the lower right-hand side, has really been loving his indoor bedroom. She was saying that a lot of the times she'll find him cozied up right along, just there by himself. He says, I don't need my siblings. I'm taking advantage of this heated, temperature-controlled bedroom, I tell you. But there is no denying that a frequent haunt of the 3 wild here is going to be their insulated den box, which just got loaded up with a fresh bale of straw, as well as some of that horse bedding that we've talked about. So I can only imagine that's going to be quite taken advantage of, in addition to their indoor bedroom with some of the cool nights that we have in the forecast. Hearing a little cougar grumbling. And admittedly, I think the frozen tuna is going a long way. Kind of creates a little bit more something substantial. There we go. Should I pull my finger in? Something a little more substantial for them to take advantage of. And obviously, like I said, this is just Tuna Enrichment, just a little something that we've put in there for the cats after caretakers were in there shoveling. I was able to put some tuna on their toys. I had some leading into their large free-roaming habitat through their guillotine there. And great to see them lapping it up. He says, yeah, it's a great following course to our meal, isn't it, Mr. Quincy in Tacoma? And I love seeing the boys. Rainier, I think I saw Melody kind of commenting the pecking order of this group, and how Rainier is the most dominant, or would be the alpha of the group. And it seems like she kind of rules the roost, but it's good to see the 2 brothers here out enjoying themselves. She made a trip back up to her bedroom. My glove is getting stuck here. Starting to remember all the technical difficulties that you get as the paparazzi in the winter when you're trying to do these live posts. I have a iced up hat. I got iced up fingers. Then I got grumbly cougars. Yeah. And, and I have some grumbly cougars and perhaps maybe a jealous cougar or two in the back. I've been seeing a lot of patrolling from the Five Wild, maybe perhaps marveling at their neighbors here. Man alive, you are getting pretty big there, Mr. Quincy. It's quite impressive to see how much you've grown and how much you've been flourishing during your Wild at Heart life here, special boy. And to think that it's been 2 years, myself and Tammy were able to drive down to the Minneapolis airport and pick up these three and drive them right back up to the sanctuary, get them into quarantine and get them settled here. Where then you guys were able to meet them. And that was a really special time for those three and us being able to welcome new rescues into the Wildcat Sanctuary, and young rescues at that, knowing that we are going to be providing a lifetime of care for these cats, and knowing that you all are right there to be there for the cats, and understanding that we are going to be providing a lifetime of care for these cats. And it's just special that we're underway, Mr. Tacoma. We are underway, he says, and life is good. Well, everyone, I think everybody's cruising around saying, is that all the tuna enrichment you put out here for us gorgeous cougars? And I think you guys made quick work of it, truthfully. And I have to admit, I've been loving hanging out with both Quincy and Tacoma, and of course Miss Rainier too. But from the boys, it's special that they gave us this time with them. So I hope everybody has been enjoying that as well. And I certainly did talk about Tacoma, Quincy, Rainier's story during this live post. But if at all you would ever like to read in more detail about some of the stories of our rescued Wildcat residents, head over to wildcatsanctuary.org. Quincy, Tacoma, Rainier, and every single of our 100 plus rescued residents have a bio where you can learn about their story. You can learn about how you can help, and just get engaged with us here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. It's one of the many awesome aspects about TWS. And Mr. Quincy, I think I've been fumbling the names a little bit. Now that I look at your ear, you kind of look like Tacoma to me. Nonetheless, I appreciate everyone's patience, and certainly today, since we got underway a little bit later, I hope everyone who's in the Midwest is going to be keeping warm these next couple days. Definitely some frigid temps. Certainly the Wildcats here at the Wildcat Sanctuary will be keeping warm. But nonetheless, be safe, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. We're almost to the weekend. But for now, I'll see you all tomorrow on Friday.